How can Jesus be God if God doesn't sleep, eats, or the time in general doesn't affect God?
This is a question that's been discussed and debated for centuries in Christian theology. Essentially, the Christian belief is that Jesus is understood to be both fully God and fully human. This is known as the doctrine of the incarnation. In that belief system, Jesus, as a human, experienced human things. He ate, he slept, and he lived within time. But at the same time, Christians believe that his divine nature was still fully intact. So the idea is that he took on human limitations voluntarily, but that doesn't diminish his divine nature. It's definitely a complex theological concept, and different Christian traditions might explain it slightly. I totally get how that can sound a bit like a brain teaser. In Christian theology, this is where the idea of the Trinity comes in. The Trinity means that God is one being in three distinct persons: the Father, the Son, who is Jesus, and the Holy Spirit. So when Christians say Jesus is the Son of God, they mean he's the second person of the Trinity. He's distinct from the Father, but still fully God. It's not that he's the Father of himself, but rather that he and the Father share the same divine nature. Definitely a deep and sometimes mind-bending concept.
So how can there be two gods?
Yeah, I get why that's a bit of a head scratcher. In Christianity, the idea is that there aren't two separate gods. Instead, it's one God in three persons. So the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit are all
So
considered.
when Jesus was God there?
Absolutely, and that's exactly the kind of question that's at the heart of Trinitarian theology. So the Christian belief is that God was always there, meaning the Father didn't disappear or go anywhere when Jesus was on earth. Instead, it's seen as God the Son taking on human form while still being one with the Father. So in that view, God was fully present.
So
and
who
Jesus
did Jesus pray to?
Christian belief, when Jesus prayed, he was praying to God the Father. So it's not that he was praying to himself, but rather that as the Son.
Pray in Aramaic, so how would that sound? How would he pray? Who did he pray to?
Yeah, exactly. So he would have prayed in Aramaic, and a lot of the phrases that we know, like when he says Abba, which is like saying Father in a very intimate way, would have been in that language. So when he was praying, he was basically speaking to the Father in that language that people around him spoke, and that would have sounded, like the everyday speech.
Well, how do you say God in Aramaic?
Yeah, absolutely. So in Aramaic, one common word for God is Allah, sometimes pronounced more like Elaha. It's pretty close to how it sounds in related languages like Hebrew or Arabic. So when Jesus spoke about God, he would have used a term like that. It's kind of neat to think of the
Thanks for the
historical
subscription.
So when Jesus spoke about God, he basically word God.
word that Jesus likely used in Aramaic, Allah, is indeed Arabic Allah, which is what Muslims say for God. It's basically just a
So
reflection of how
Jesus, he prayed to his God and he called him Allah, is what you're saying.
So
Yeah.
okay, so why would Jesus